Hey, good morning, everybody. We're gonna work on this another RJ. This one is called the V-Coustic, and we're gonna get rid of this plastic saddle. I already made a new bone saddle. I'll set it in there, and then we'll mark it up, and we'll file it and sand it and grind it down to the proper height. Got a piece of bone here I cut to a rectangle. I'm gonna create a new nut. Plastic one is crapola. Everything's fretting out on the first fret. So just thought I'd show you a little of this before I got started. Made it a little too close. Alright, so I already started here to draw the strings as loose as I generally would make them. But that's okay. They're loose enough. Yeah, I'm just using a pair of cutters here that work great to pull out pins. Could be a little looser. Sorry you're out of the mood there. I'm just loosening up these 3 strings there. The customer complains that he's got buzz. Of course, that was the definitely was the nut. Come on, what are you sticking? Definitely was the nut was way too low. The strings were hitting there, and complaints that the pickup's not picking up. And it looks just fine down in there, and I'm going to assume it's because this piece of crappy RJ plastic was in there. Not even compensated. So I make these. I generally make up several of them. So I have them on hand, so they all need to be adjusted to each specific guitar. Come on out of there. Well, it's really cut right into the bridge. I don't think the rosewood bridge is really rosewood. Well, got to use a little manual support there. If you could see down inside that hole, these strings are cut right into the bridge. Not good. Okay. Let's see here. It's a standard size. It is not standard size. Alright, let me do that off screen. I'll be right back. This is going to take me a few minutes. Okay, it dawned on me, maybe you might like to see me doing that. So let me zoom in a little bit and you can watch me adjust this now. That looks pretty good, huh? That's the future nut. This is the saddle that I am adjusting to fit this specific guitar. I'm sure this file is right in your way. Maybe I got a smaller one I could use. Let's try this diamond file. This is all I'm going to do. Going over the ends that are rounded and shortening them up just a hair. I always work on a block so that I have something stable. And then I'll do the same to the other end. Bone's hard, so it files fairly slowly. Seem to have baby kittens somewhere. Been hearing them the past couple of days, but they hide every time they hear me come. Calling for their mama. Alright, let me see how this is. It wasn't very much too big, so hopefully it won't take us too long. Alright, I need a round file. Off camera, I know.
I'm right with you. Hold on a minute. We're almost there. A little further. After this, mark it, and we will lower it. I bought a bunch of blank nuts. What I find about the ones you can buy off Shopee or Rosadas, they tend to be too
Short. Too thick. By the time I modify the thickness and the length, and I can't make them longer when they're too short, by the time I do all that modifying, I'm better off just making them. Oh, there we go, perfect fit. There it is. It's in there perfectly. Nice and snug. Now what we got to do is get the size correct. Fortunately, this one was pretty close to the right size. This one, this is the old one, plastic. It's a little too tall, so I can use this to get an approximate to take off the bottom. And then we will adjust it from there. Stay tuned, I will be right back. Okay, I guess I should show you what I did here. Got the, where is it? There it is, in place. needs final adjustment. But first, we're going to go up here and we are going to do the final adjustment on the nut first, because that's the way we do it. Yes, this previously had this junky dead giveaway, hollowed out. Means it came from a jet, and it was formed from plastic, tone sucking plastic. It's crap. And the strings were far too low. So I've got my nut. I glued it on there so it won't move around on me while I'm filing. Not too much glue, just a couple dabs of wood glue, that's all it takes. And what we are looking for is 20 thousandths between the first fret and the bottom of the string. So we take a, come on, focus, 20 thousandths or 0.50 millimeter, which is 20 thousandths of an inch. Goes right there, and right now it's got lots of play. Okay, it's got to just barely touch the top of that fret and the bottom of the string without raising the string. When it does that, it's the perfect height. You can go down to 18 thousandths. I find that causes people problems early on because, you know, guys that do a lot of string bends and stuff, these low E, A, and D strings are typically wound, and they will work like a file. So I always recommend 20 thousandths. This is a 0.46. And we will file away, saw away, I should say. But it really is just a file. This, the teeth on this are rounded on the bottom, which I'm pretty sure you won't be able to see. You have to take my word for it. So, anyways, let's cut this nut down to size. Pun intended. And we'll just throw it up there. Get a little tightened. I'm sure right now it still has plenty farther to go, but I want you to get the idea here. See, it's still ringing. It's not touching. Needs to touch. And the string is going down into the groove, so when we're finished getting all the groove depths low enough, then we will come back with our file and file the top of the nut until the tops of the strings are out of the nut. That way they're not buzzing inside the nut, causing you headaches. This guitar, I believe, belongs to a doctor at one of our local public hospitals. The director there, I believe this is his. And we're gonna fix it up for him. So when he plays it super nice. And we don't want to cut too much at a time. We want to go, that was taking quite a bit, but I had a lot of room to go still. Now it's starting to get very close, and I will start filing much less, because it's almost to that point. So I recommend if you ever get some nut files and want to take this take my advice. Cut little. You want to cut on a downstroke because the headstock here is at an angle. Even if it wasn't, you still want to cut at a downstroke. Like this. You want to cut down. That is so the top of the string rests at the front of the nut. Very important. And just keep checking. I don't put it in tune, but I tighten it up enough to where I'm not worried there's any slack. It's just barely almost there. Really, it's farther than you think, but it is very close. See, the file is sticking because the slot is too deep. It's too deep for the file. The slots need to be. Your string should be 2/3 into the nut and 1/3 above the nut. You can do vice versa, but I find they pop out of the nut too much then. See, clear ring, still not touching. Taking very little off at a time, which is what you want to do. Seems like I'm doing a lot, but these teeth are very, very fine on these files. So they cut very, very slow. And in fact, I'm gonna use the diamond file to open the top of this so it'll quit sticking. Because I will just file that off later. I think that's might be it. Hear that? That's it. Pardon me while I'm out of the movie for a minute. I gotta look at this real close. And that is super close, just about perfect, but I'm still gonna take just a hair off it. And I believe that will be as far as I go. String's way tighter than it is supposed to be, that's so I have no slack. I gotta lift it up to take a look again, folks. Pardon me. Yep. That is just touching. I'm gonna give it a couple of final swipes. Downward. I'm not even cutting at the front of the nut. This is not. And that will be it. Just touching. just nice. Not raising it, but rubbing totally across it. That's what we want. And the string is totally down inside the nut, so that will need to get filed way down. So I'm going to continue on, and I'll bring you back shortly. Thanks for hanging out. So, got the E string on there, and took a measurement of the relief, and I can't fit 12 thousandths under it. So there's not nearly the amount of relief that there should be. Let me get a different screwdriver because that one's killing me. So I kind of think this probably has never had an adjustment other than from the factory, and they obviously didn't do too great. Come on out of there. That's better. Well, this thing's got the plastic on it. Nobody ever took it off. That looks like hell. It's like, what are you leaving it on there for? Like buying a new car and leaving the plastic on the seats. That's going to keep it in good condition for how long? Until the plastic sticks to it and you can't get it off, and it looks like crap. So it looks like crap with the plastic on, and then by the time you try to get the plastic off, it looks like crap again. So just take the plastic off. If you're afraid to get a scratch on your guitar, maybe you spent too much. Guitars are meant to be played. Look at that. It's been on there since it was brand new, and it does not want to come off. Well, I'll get that off later. Let's take a look under there. First, let me get some of that DNA out of there. It's been there forever. All right, let's look in there and see if this is virgin or not. And it looks like nobody's really ever been in there. So, what size did you use? Ooh, that's tight. Oh, my goodness. Tighter than a... Well, let me check that before I go any further. Let's back up the camera. Where are we? Right there. Well, that made all the difference, because it wouldn't even go under there before. Oh, wait, I'm not. Dumbass. I forgot to fret the 17th. Okay. And it won't go under. So, needs to get looser. I was scared, Keith. Wow, they really had that tight. Let's check that. I took that about 3/4 of a spin. This must have been one of the bastards at the factory. The factory had it that tight. Well, it's bumping it, but it's getting under there, so a little further. And that is the loose. It's a two-way, so that's cool. So we're tightening that way now, which moves the neck that way. Come on, are you two-way or no? No, it's not a two-way. Well, don't that suck. Year 2019 and RJ hasn't learned to put a two-way in all their guitars. I don't want to leave it like loose because yeah, it's just gonna unscrew right off there. If I leave it very loose, then it'll rattle. So I've got to put a little tension back on it. That's it. I don't dare to go more loose. Don't dare to go more tight. Let's see if that helped. Well, it is getting under there. I think that's probably 10. Let's check. 10 will be acceptable. It's close, but it's acceptable. Uh, 10 slides right under there. Let's try 11. So we're in the ballpark. All right, 11 goes easily. So it's like, it's right at the 12. So that's good. It's not gonna get any better, I can tell you that. All right, I'll put the truss rod cover back on. Let's take this off. Now we'll tune her up to bitch and see what she says. I'll be right back. I gotta play with this because I don't want to put it back on there like that.
There it is. All finished up. I guess this is the acoustic. Maybe this is the acoustic. No? That little preamp goes right up there. Anyways. The
RJ V-Coustic got a new nut, a setup, and a new saddle. It's ready to roll and rock and roll. All right, thanks for joining me. Wished I could show you more. But whatever you do, have a nice day, and for God's sake, be good to each other.